Let's send our first email. Now, this requires a lot of configuration that, again, you'll just have to get used to. So if it looks overwhelming, don't worry. Once you have this basic setup, you can send any type of email you want. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to say email is going to equal this email message that I just imported, this email message class. And this is going to be our email object. From here, we can add to this object the from key, which will be, hey, who's this email from? This email is going to be from myself, from Andre Nagwe. Next is, who is this email going to be to? Well, this email is going to be to, well, let's say Andre at 0tomastery.io. So we want to send the email to this email address. And then the email subject line will say, what should we say? Let's create the worst spammy email possible. I think this will be funny. Let's say you won $1 million. There you go. That's a spammy subject line, that's for sure. So that's our subject. The next thing we're going to do is say email.setContent method, which essentially says what's the content of the email. In our case, let's just say I am a Python master. Now in here, we can actually set any type of content we want. We can do text, we can do HTML, we can do images. We're going to get to that a little bit later on. But for now, this is fine. There you go. That's our email object with the from, to, subject, and content. We have our email, but we need to send it, right? So what we need to do is to use this SMTP server to log in to our Gmail client and then send that email from there. So all we're going to do is say with smtplib.smtp, and in here, we're going to say what is going to be our SMTP server. And the reason I got you to create a Gmail account is just so you can follow along, because this is going to be custom to whatever email client you're using. In our case, we want our host to be Gmail. So I'm going to say smtp.gmail.com. This is going to be our host. And then this SMTP is going to be running on port 587. Again, you don't have to know this exactly. If we go back to SMTP, you see over here that typically submit outgoing email to the mail server on port 587. Remember, SMTP is a protocol. It's a standard for machines to communicate with each other. By using port 587, it's just a standard way for SMTP server to be run. Like I said, this is one of those things that you can usually just Google around and copy and paste because it's going to be the same. If you have a different client than Gmail, then again, you can Google and see what type of host you need. In our case, let's continue here. We're going to say with this host as SMTP, because we're going to use this now. Let's make this a little bit bigger so you can see. And in here, this is the part that's going to look confusing, but again, it's just you do it once, and once you do it, you have an email server that you can use. I'm going to say smtp.ehlo. Kind of looks like hello, but it's not hello. This is actually part of the protocol of the SMTP. Again, the agreement. It starts with a little hello message that, well, it's typed like this. You can actually Google why this method is like this and not actually says hello. It's actually a pretty funny story. So we have SMTP hello. So that's the initial, hey, this is a server, I'm awake, hello message. Next, we do the SMTP dot start TLS. And TLS is an encryption mechanism. So we want to connect securely to the server. And now this is the critical part. Up until this point, you might be confused as to what we're actually doing here. We're essentially, with this next line, we're going to connect to this email account, this Gmail account that I created, so that instead of me opening this page, hitting compose, and writing that email that we already wrote, I can do it from code. So what am I going to do? I'm going to say smtp.login, and I'm going to log in with my credentials. So the first one is going to be this dummy email that I created, which is 0tomastery1@gmail.com. And next is going to be the password that I used for this login. Again, this is something that, because I've created a dummy account, I don't mind sharing it with you. The password is hello ZTM, my old friend 1. So this way, I'm able to log in to this server. And guess what we're doing next? Well, next, we're going to say send message. And we're going to send, what are we going to send? This whole email that we've created. So let's do email. And just for fun at the end, we'll say print all good boss. There we go. Now, if we didn't make any errors, this should actually work. Let's give it a go. I'm going to say Python 3 and then run our email sender.py. I want to give you a warning here. If you've named your py file email.py, this actually might give you an error. So make sure you name it something other than email.py. Let's give it a go. There's a bit of a pause, and we have all good boss. There was a pause here because we had to connect to our server, log in to our account, and then send the email, and then all good boss. So it looks like this code worked. So let's test it out. I logged into this dummy account, and I sent an email to andre@zerotomastery.io. Let's check that email account. And look at that. You won $1 million. I am a Python master from the email address of our dummy account. Now, I actually had to pull this out of the spam folder because it was marked as spam because, well, it definitely looks like spammy email. So that's awesome. We're just able to send an email through Python. How cool is that? In the next video, we're going to explore this a little bit more and make this a little bit more dynamic so we can customize it to each individual that we send email to. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.